Yeah, good morning to all of you. So still the LMS issue is not fixed. So write your name and roll number for your attendance at the chat box. So we will wait for another 2 minutes to others to join. Then we will start our session. Um, so, yes. Today we are going to discuss some basic terminology that are related to the Visual C++ or some introduction part for the Visual C++. So whatever we discussed the previous class, so we will stop there. We will get some basic knowledge of C++ from Visual C++. Then there are little bit left about the MFC. Okay, so basically we cover 80% of what we mean by Mechanism Funded class. The part remaining is that how these MSC classes are uh, loaded, okay, and how the structures are defined. So that will be discussed when we able to discuss how visual programming can be used. Okay, so that programming part will be discussed later on when the topic is covered. So there will be a question, so question from MFC. Okay, like what do you mean by MFC or whatever the advantages of MFC and how the framework of MFC is working. Okay, or how it is useful for designing a GIU mode for or user interface for that uh, Windows desktop applications. Fine. So, and what are the different components we are having in MFC or different classes in having in MFC? So one question will be there for MFC. So be prepared for it. For that, I do share the slides and notes everything once the LMS issue is resolved. So you can follow that notes, or you can use any of those resources. Okay, either you can go for the book, textbook that I have suggested, the very first class, or you can use any of the resources. Okay. Basically, for this subject, there is a no particular book, one book or two book can be recommended. So, in my suggestion, you can go better. It would be go topic wise and search for that. So, because this entire syllabus is very huge. If you see Visual C++ programming, so, and your syllabus a part of that is given. So better it will be if you are looking like because then choosing the topic wise for the syllabus and getting that. Okay, I think uh, most of you are already joined. So let me take a screenshot for my convenience for attendance and screenshot of your chat box. So only seven is still not seven had written the name. So do that. Do other also write your name uh, in your chat box. Roll number. Okay, basically roll number I need so that I can update in LMS once it is working. Okay, fine. So let's start the today's session. So today we are going to discuss about the Visual C++, or what is Visual C++, and what are different component we are having in Visual C++. Okay, so Visual C++ basically we can say it is having two component here. One is called Visual C and other basically it supports the two languages actually. One is your C language, second one is your C++ language. Okay, so that's why we can say Microsoft Visual C++ is two complete Windows application development system in one product. So what does actually means? So whenever you install Microsoft Visual C++, so it's come with a two complete window application development environment. Okay, or we can say Windows application system. Okay, in a one project, which is basically your C language development. So it provides the feature of it provides the features of using C language for Windows developing, as well as C++ tool, visual tools, C++ visual tool to designing a Windows application development system or Windows desktop application development system. Okay, the first thing that you have to remember uh, regarding the Microsoft Visual C++ is nothing but it provides the uh, two languages or two complete Windows application development system in single product. Okay, so we will divide different product. So the product is first product, as we already said, you can develop any C language Windows program. Okay, or you can say you can develop a Windows program using C language uh, with the help of Windows 32 API. So we are already discussed about Windows 32 API. So this is nothing but application programming interference. So all your library files or even your MFC files are basically stored in this particular Windows 32 API files. So with this help of this Windows 32 API files, where all your library files are stored, okay, so we can use C language for Windows programming or Windows application development programming. Okay, this is one of the component, as we have said the previous point. There are two components. This is the first component, and what is the second component that can be used? It is a Visual C++ tool. Okay, so you can use Visual C++ tool, which include the resource editor. Okay, so basically there we have an editor for the user. Along with that, uh, we can make a low-level Windows programming much easier. So along with that, we are having different, or we can say the different files or library files, which will be make easier for Windows 32 programming. Fine. So if you see the component, different components, so these are the basic languages that are supported by Microsoft Visual C++. So if you see the components, different components, so there are many components. So we will focus on the component which is really relevant to our Windows application development programming aspect. Okay, so I have listed some of the important component. Okay, that are mainly used in your Windows 32 programming language. So first one is called project. Project is something related to your name of the project and entire we can say entire files. Okay, it consists of one or we can say many files which are interrelated to complete the task. Or we can say if I want to develop a particular application, to complete the application we will have a project. So we'll name that application as a project. To accomplish that project, now you have to perform the different tasks to complete it. So okay, one by one we discuss everything. So first thing that you are having in the component is your project. Then there will be a resource editor, or basically we say the works resource space. So works resources is consist of all the information regarding whatever tools you are using, that what are variables you are using, what are buttons you are using, what are the menu bar you are using, okay, what are text bar you are using, whatever events you are performing, the about entire details about the events are basically stores in a workspace. Fine. Next, as we know the programming language used for developing this is either C or C++. So we will have a compiler, uh, C as well as for C++. So user can choose any of the languages. So both the compiler is used to compile our programs. Okay. Then there will be a fourth component which is known as source code editor. So this basically provide if user is to customize his applications, okay, or want to make some changes in existing program, or even if user want to create a new application, then we can use that we can where we can edit the basically where we can edit our program. Okay, there is a source code editor. Then there is a resource compiler where have it. Then there is a linker, and there is a linker which will going to link and load the different library files. Okay. Then there is a debugger, and there is an application wizard and class wizard that will be discussed basically used in for the programming purpose. Fine. So these are the main components that we are having uh, in Microsoft Visual C++. Clear? So if you say what is Microsoft Visual C++, it's complete two programming language. One is C and then one is C++. Okay. But if you install Microsoft Visual 2019, apart from these two programming language, it also supports some of the high-level language, recently developed high-level language like Java and Pythons also. Fine. But in your course, it is limited to C and C++. So we will not discuss about the other language that is supported. Clear? And these are the components. So you have to remember this component and what are the uses that we are in today's lecture that we're going to discuss each and every component one by one. So what the role of each component during or we can say during the development of any Windows applications. I hope it is clear to all of you what we are going to discuss today. Yes. Okay, then we will move on. Uh, yeah. So the first component, which is called project, or we can say, so what is a project? So simple definition, we can say, the project is a collection of interrelated source files that are compiled and linked to make an executable Windows-based program, or sometimes we say DDL, which is nothing but dynamic linking of different library files. Okay, DDL stands for dynamic linking libraries. So in simple definition, if you define project, you can say it is a collection of different source files which are interrelated, and this source file are compiled and linked with the other library files so that we can make make an executable file, so we can develop a program for Windows-based programming language or DDL. Now the source files. Now the question is what does source file means, or what this source file exactly. Now because the source files are each of for each project are generally uh, because the subdirectories. Okay, or this source files are nothing but different modules. It can be different modules or it can be different subdirectories. So in this case, we are saying these are subdirectories or source files for each project are generally stored in subdirectories. Okay, and the project depend on many file outside the project subdirectory, such as we can say, for example, we are including some of the file or some of the library file to perform like string operation or perform some input output operation. So apart from this source files, what we require additional files which are stored beyond this subfile. So we can say the project is nothing but, if I say the project, this is my project. So basically, projects are meant to design application program which consist of different source file which are called subdirectories. Okay, I can name as this is subdirectory 1, then subdirectory 2. Okay, like this. we are having different subdirectories. Now, these subdirectories are basically uh, combined together or compiled together. Okay, and remember this subdirectory are interrelated. They will compile or combine together. While compiling, it will load or link some of the library files. So that's the reason we say to complete a complete project, we need some files that are beyond, that are not stored in a subdirectory. So we have to link some of the files which can be performed. Okay, basically library files linked here so that it can be executable for the uh, executable file and final output as a Windows programming language. So this is called your project. Okay. Now, one more important thing about project to remember, there is a make file. Okay, in a project we will have a make file that's which stores a compile and link offset and express all the interrelationship among the source file. Okay, so we are having a special file called make file. Okay, out of all these files in a project. Okay, the project basically consists of different files. So out of this, a special file is there, which is called make file. Now, this make file, what is the purpose of this make file? So the purpose of this make file is nothing but it basically consists of, or basically store the different compiler and linkers options, and it also express the different interrelationship between the source file which is stored in a subdirectories. Okay, the first point about the makefile. Second point you have to remember, a programmer or a program will read the makefile. Okay, so first of all, whatever the programmer or the program will read the makefile and then evoke the compiler, assembler, resource compiler, and linker to produce a final output, which is generally an executable file. So what happened basically here? The program will read, first of all, the program will read the makefile. Now, the makefile is responsible for calling or evoking the functions such as for the compilation, for the assembler, assembling the language, or for resource compiler, whatever the resource we require, okay, or linking the library files, okay. So once it is call this function, now again it is responsible for the final output and as well as for uh, generalizing or producing the executable file. Right? So make file is very important in relevant to your project. Okay, as we know, project is nothing but interrelated source file. So out of all the source file, the make file is one of the files which consists of all these things. Okay, like compiler, linking option. Okay, so is it clear? So apart from the make file, there are other files also that is very important. So let me discuss. So in Visual C++ project, uh, we have a something special called MAKey extension, which will be helpful for to call the makefile. The text format project file having the extension with .tsp serve for the same purpose, that is served for the makefile, and a separate text format for the workshop files, okay, which is stored with the extension of .dsw. So what happened here? So in Visual C++, we have two different categories of file. One for the text format project file, which is having the extension .dsp extension, and another for the text format for the workshop. Okay, workshop file, which is basically going to store the related information regarding the workshop. So it is having the extension .dsw extension. Okay, it's possible to have a multiple project in a workshop. Okay, the multiple project can be worked in a workshop. So if I have a single workshop, that I can simultaneously execute the multiple project, and most of the example that we are going to use in this lectures are we are using only one project for one workshop. Okay, so no doubt we can run multiple projects in a single workshop. Okay, but in our example, or whatever we take an example in this session, so we will consider only one project is executed in the workshop. So to work on extension existing project, okay, so whatever existing project we are having, so we will just tell the Visual C++ to open the file DSW, which is basically for extension of your text file, and we can edit our text file and build our project. The project which is already present in our C++, Visual Microsoft C++. So how to perform? So simply we will open the DSW of text editor files. Now we will perform the editing options and we can execute. So these are the points related to the project. Okay, so you have to remember project is nothing but interrelated source files, and the source files are stored in some subdirectories. Okay, to basically apart from the subdirectories, we need some of the library files to complete executing. Okay, so make file is a special file which is used to store all your compile, assembler, and compile resources. Okay, so these are the make file responsible for that. Now the programmer will directly link to this make file. And in case of C++, so basically the make files are divided into two types. One is called text format project files, and one is your text format workshop file. Both are having different extension, file extension. One is with .tsp and second one with uh, .dsw. Fine. So this is something about what project. Fine. Let's move on. So here you can see some of the intermediate files, as I said, apart from the so that we can use. Now just go through this table and give it 1 minute. Just so we are having two columns here. One is the file extension type that are supported by C++ or Microsoft Visual C++, and the description, what the purpose of these files. Okay, just go through this table once. Yeah. So as you are good, you have seen, so we are having two columns here. One is for file extension, second one description. So there, so I have listed some of the intermediate files that are used in Microsoft Visual C++. So as you can see, first one is your ASP file. Basically, it is used to support the resource viewer. Okay, for the user purpose only. Okay, then .bsc file. These files are basically used for browsing informations. Okay, so whatever browsing related things you are having, it basically store here. Again, this is a very important file. .clw. Now it supports your all your class wizards files. Okay, so it defines, so class wizard is a special type of class that we will going to use in our programming language. So this consists of, or this is basically consists of all the resource classes. Then your .dep, which is your dependency files. Then .tsp, this is your main project file. Then start.dsw, your workshop file, as we already discussed. Then start MAK file, which is your make file that is present in C++ or Visual C++. Okay. Then .nsp that supports your class view. Then OPT files hold workshop configuration, and there is a PLG file called used for building logs. So these are some intermediate files that we are using in our C++, Microsoft Visual C++. Okay, this is something. So next is your what do you mean by resource editor and workshop resource view. So this is the second component. Okay, if you the very first slide, as we have discussed the different component. The first component is what do you mean by project, and the second component is your resource editor. The resource editor, or we can say workshop resource view. Okay, so let's understand what you mean by this. Now, each project usually has one text format resource script, which is represented by RC. Okay, so every project, whenever we create a new project, so it is associated with a one text format resource script file, which is known as RC file, that describes the project related things such as the project menu bar, the project dialog bar, the strings, and accelerator resources. So all these informations are stored in your text format resource script, which is associated with every project. Okay. Now what this RC file do? So basically the RC file is also has include statement like we are use has include in programming. But now we have to include or it acts as preprocessor basically. So RC file also has include statements to bring the resources from a subdirectories. So as we know, these files are stored in subdirectory to bring these resources or to load these resources in our main program. So we have to include these files. So as we have to include, so we have to use the preprocessor. Okay. Then this resource include project specification specific items such as, so what are these resources include basically? So it's include basically such as uh, your bitmap, your icon files, okay, your images, or you can say resources which is common to all Visual C+ programming. Okay, or even it will be handling the message arrays message string. Okay, so whatever resources we are having, so that should are located in this particular file, which is called RC file. Okay, which is basically responsible, or this resource file basically include your project specific items such as your image items, okay, which is stored in bitmap, and your different icons, files where you can directly access or implement, then your resources common to all Visual C++ program. Okay, then even if it is used to store the what error message for the string. Okay, apart from that, the resource editor can also express executable and DDL files. Okay, so we can use the clipboard to the steal the resources such as bitmap and icon from the Windows applications. So these are some features that is provided by the resource editor or workshop resource view. So we can directly access what resource text format resource scripts, okay, which basically designed for each project. Okay, and it consists of whatever tools we are using, like manifold, dialog box, or strings, or etc. resources, images, icons, okay, all other different resource component that are available in Visual C+ programming, even if the message handler, okay, these are things implemented. Now, apart from that, resource allocator or can also be used for your uh, developing your .exe file or accessing the DDL files. which can be easily implemented, right? So let's move to the third component. So our third component is your C, C and C++ compiler. So as we discussed in very first slide, the Microsoft Visual C++ is two packages format. So it supports both the languages, that is, it support the C languages as well as the your C++ language. So we have both the compiler here. So the Visual C++ compiler can process both. Okay, so C source files code as well as the C++ source file code. Then it determines the language by. So how we can differentiate between the two languages? Now it will be get confused, no? Whether it will be a C++ or C++, or whether it's C or C++. So basically determine the languages by looking at the source code, file name, and extension. So if it is a .c extension, then it will understand a C file. If it is having .c++, then it will understand first. So while making the whenever you choose for the new project or go for the new project, so there will be option you have to select. So which programming language you're preferring. So whether you are using C or C++, based on the property selected by the user, the compiler will going to perform. Right? Now, so C extension indicate the C source file and CPP or CX indicate the C++ source file. So you already know these things. Fine. So then the compiler with all access standard, including latest recommendation of working group of C++ library and additional microfile. So it's basically saying, so whatever the compiler we are having, so it is having the latest features of all the library files, okay, that we are having in C++ and the additional Microsoft extension file. Then some of the features like template, exception handling, and running time identification, that is RTTI, are fully supported by the Visual C++ version 6.0. Okay, now this is very important regarding that, regarding the event-driven programming. Okay, so apart from the languages that supported, it must also support uh, the concepts of like designing the templates or exception handling properties and runtime time identification, that is RTTI, that are fully supported by the version 6. Microsoft Visual C++ 6.0. Okay, so another thing about that, the C++ standard template library, which is STL, is also included. Uh, although it is not integrated into the MFC library, even though we are not including in MFC library file, okay, but still the Microsoft Visual C++ support the standard template libraries, that is STL. Okay, so these last 2 points are some additional features that are added to the Visual C++. Okay, which will generally differentiate uh, with respect to your ANSYS C++, where only provide the programming language. Fine. So this is something about the compiler. The compiler, apart from the C++ compiler, okay, it will having some additional template features also. Fine. So this is the third component that we are discussing. Okay, that we are discussing in with Microsoft Visual C++. So till now we have discussed first component, which is your project, the main thing, which is nothing but collection of interrelated source file. Second, we are discuss about your workshop resource or resource editor. Okay, so again, resource editor is very important because it is an text file which consists of all your sub files, sub files, and other implementing environment. Then third is a compiler. So once compiler, if you say Microsoft Visual C++ compiler, so it's basically having two types of compiler. One is your C and C++. Apart from the uh, compiler, it will also provide the features of other features of event-driven programming, like it support template and RTTI as well as STL features. Okay, so let's move to the second. Okay, so as we are left only 3 minutes, so we will not start the new. So just few more topics are remaining, so we will discuss in the next class. So other component that we are having in. So these are the three major components. Apart from that, we are having other components also. Okay, in your Microsoft Visual C++. So that we will discuss in next class. Okay, so just go through it. So any doubt in today's class? So all of you given your roll number here, written roll number. Yeah, I think how many are present today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 30. Yes. Yeah. Okay, if there is no doubt from your side, so we'll stop here our class, and in the next class we'll continue from here. So whatever the different components that are left, so we will discuss about it, and we will look very first our Visual C++ program, how we are using this to implement the Windows desktop application. Fine. Okay, then we will stop our class here. Thank you very much.